Don't let IT overwhelm you. Learn more about Five Nines at fivenines.com. That's the number 5, NINES.com.
The following program is a presentation of DC Communications, LLC. Warning, you are about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves' corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening.
3, 2, 1.
Now live from the heart of liberal Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning, welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Best friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Now here are your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Dominic, welcome to Thursday.
Rudy, it's only Thursday, man.
What do you mean it's only Thursday? Every day is a great day, at least on the radio. Come on, beats working for a living, right?
Amen, that it does, brother.
Dominic, we've got, I don't know if this is breaking at the moment, but if you've been at work, and most of you people work for a living, sorry.
You can't be on the radio like us.
Not exactly like us, but there is some news, if not breaking at the moment, it is breaking today. Department of Justice watchdog opens review of Comey's Clinton email investigation. Damn it, Comey.
The DOJ is going to review the FBI. The man is looking out, checking out the man. It's like Kramer versus Kramer up in here.
Terrible analogy, but we'll accept it for this show. Josh Gerstein at the Politico.com, the Justice Department's internal watchdog, is launching a broad review of how the FBI handled its investigation of Hillary Clinton's private email server. Let me offer an opinion here.
Yes.
Terribly!
Come on. Terribly?
Terribly. Indefensibly.
So what is your biggest grievance with Comey?
He went public. He had a press conference when there were no charges.
And you think that shouldn't
If there
ever
were
happen?
going to be charges, sure. If there's not going to be charges, put one paragraph on paper, put it on the desk, whatever you do to notify and widely disseminate. Case closed.
Didn't Comey explain that there was some big demand for this information, an explanation greater than what they normally the FBI would provide? You don't accept that?
No, not at all. I think it's a terrible rationalization. Let me read on from this Josh Gerstein piece. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz said he would review allegations that FBI Director James Comey violated established procedures when he publicly discussed the Bureau's findings and when he sent Congress updates shortly before the election. Let's not forget about step 2.
You're right.
About new, air quotes, evidence agents had discovered. His review will also look at whether FBI and Justice Department employees improperly leaked information prior to the election. I'll read a little farther. Clinton and aides on her Democratic presidential campaign have blamed Comey. Yes, they're right to do so. My little aside. Pre-election revelation that he was reviving the email investigation as a key factor in her narrow loss to Republican nominee Donald Trump. A statement from Horowitz's office said he was initiating the inquiry in response to requests from numerous chairmen and ranking members of congressional oversight committees, various organizations, and members of the public. I would point out, Tom, if this statement is to be believed from Horowitz, chairman means Republicans. Democrats don't have the power of the chair on any committee.
New York Times wraps up an article on the same topic, stating that Horowitz would also be examining other issues, including whether Deputy Director of the FBI, whose wife ran as a Democrat for the Virginia State Senate, should have recused himself from any involvement in the Clinton email investigation. Another issue, and I think you may have mentioned this, Crudy, but this brings further clarity whether a top Justice Department official gave information to the Clinton campaign.
Hey, stop slinging mud, man. That is the aside.
I'm sorry, man. I am reading the reporting of the New York Times.
Maybe you
don't like
jump
it.
so far ahead in the story.
Maybe Political should identify that, hey, not only are they investigating the FBI specifically, but there is some investigations with Justice and the Clinton campaign.
Sure.
How is that not worthy of mentioning, Mike?
Well, that is a farther down the piece notion because no investigation of the Clinton campaign or someone that might have given details to the Clinton campaign turned the course of the election. Comey's letter, Comey's press conference, in all likelihood, was the nail in the coffin.
Do you believe that?
I absolutely believe that. I don't believe Russian hacking one skosh affected the ultimate outcome. But what I do believe
you don't
is
think
James
the Russian
Comey
hacking that
turned the election.
That showed the goings on at the DNC that
there was no news there.
That gave all the Bernie supporters proof that they thought the whole time that the thumb was on the scale. You don't think that had less impact than Comey?
Absolutely. As a Bernie supporter, I can tell you, as a guy who was there at the DNC, as a guy who watched Bernie support and endorse Hillary Clinton, I can tell you, we already knew that.
Suspected.
There was no news there.
Validation.
It was validation of what we already knew. But that didn't persuade any of us that didn't compel anyone, that didn't leave anyone that already supported Clinton saying, well, now I can't support
people in
her.
our audience and friends of ours, the progressives and liberals out there, Dems out there, that there wasn't enough that went over to the Green Party, that stayed home. You don't think there was a shift?
They would have done so anyways.
Even without the validation of what they suspected of what was going on at the DNC.
Buddy, all you had to do was watch the superdelegates. I mean, it was being validated every day on the television. You didn't need this supposed WikiLeaks of John Podesta's emails to know that the thumb of the DNC was on the scale on behalf of Hillary Clinton. I mean, you could watch it every day when you would see Bernie win a state by 12%, and you'd watch the allocation of delegates. Hell, I was on this topic in Des Moines. I cornered Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the spin room. I got a 3-question exclusive. She walked away from me after 3 because I asked her about the allocation of the delegates in New Hampshire. I'm wondering how Bernie Sanders puts this crushing, bruising victory on Hillary Clinton, but you factor in the superdelegates and they're coming out, tied?
How is that any different from the day one of that election, Curdy? I mean, that was all known information specifically.
Exactly. So therefore, the WikiLeaks and the Russian hacking and the dissemination of information did not change the outcome of the election with any sort of gravity, in the same way that the Comey press conference, where I thought he was going to announce charges that day. That was the tone he took.
Initial press conference, when he initially came out.
Yes,
discussed it. It certainly sounded like he was going to indict, and then they were very, very bad and didn't do the right things, and I wouldn't have done that, but we're not going to.
So he lectured a presidential candidate, a former Secretary of State, who, even after the second opening and the second public statement being made, or at least through a release, 11 days before the election, the second time he made that transgression, Dom, and then, 3 days before the election, quietly said, nothing to see here. Still, no charges to be filed. So if you're not going to file charges, if there is not evidence that leads you, and what did he say after the fact, there is no reasonable prosecutor that would bring these charges, then shut your mouth, Comey, just like you did on the Trump dossier.
And you don't think that the fact that the Secretary of State of the United States had this server unprotected, out of the
unprotected,
out
just
of the
like
realm of
what, you didn't
everybody
have the
else. This was an unknown
antivirus
thing. Yeah, they didn't have a good defense like the Republicans did, Curdy. You don't think that fact alone also influenced this election?
Sure, it may have influenced the election that Hillary Clinton chose to stupidly put this email separately because, of course, all of those things she had hoped to shield from the public eventually have been brought forth to the public, right? So her well-laid plans, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right, Dom? I'm not even clear that they were good intentions.
Thank you.
You might say that Hillary Clinton lost the election because the people didn't trust her. I think that'd be a fair assessment. Hell, Trump's not trustworthy either, but I'm talking about people of conscience, liberals and progressives who said, you know what? I still can't vote for Hillary Clinton, even knowing how terrible and god-awful the alternative is. Hell, I'll go hold my nose, or maybe not hold my nose, but I'll go vote for Jill Stein, or worse, Gary Johnson. But what I will tell you, Dom, is the most impactful. And look at the polling. Don't trust Crudy. Just because I say it doesn't make it so. But look at the polling. Look at the change of trajectory dates and see how that aligns with the Comey press conference. And then 11 days before the election, when we heard David Plouffe, we had David Plouffe on this show, Dom, telling us 100% chance
Guaranteed.
Hillary Clinton's going to win the election. Seemed quite confident. He was wrong. Because what he didn't account for is the fact that James Comey, the FBI director, was going to put his thumb on the scale at the last minute and say, oh, Carlos Danger's got some emails on his porn laptop, and this will probably change everything. Maybe it won't, but maybe it will. But we'll throw it out there 11 days before the election and let you, the people, decide, because there's a lot of public concern about this issue.
And you don't believe that after his initial press conference where he decided they were not going to charge Hillary Clinton.
Then you don't have a press conference.
If we have more information that comes forth, we will inform everybody. You don't think by doing so, he should not have done that?
He could have waited 11 more days, let the election play out. That's always historically been the FBI does not insert itself into electioneering. The FBI, you of the Trump dossier, apparently, right? How do we know? John McCain gave it to him. So they knew all about the Trump dossier. They knew that one of the two candidates had been accused of salacious things, was under threat. Apparently, there's compromising photos, if you believe the two now corroborated intelligence reports.
Let's be clear, though. The most salacious
they didn't leak that.
The most salacious of that, Crudy, again, I need to reiterate, it's not any sort of sex that people would do. Consenting adults, what they do is their own business, certainly. But as a presidential candidate, coordinating with the Russian government,
yes,
that is the problem. And, of course, Comey said he could not comment if they were investigating yesterday.
Isn't it ironic, Tom?
Ain't it, though?
And on balance, Hillary Clinton got villainized because Donna Brazile accepted, a question that was identical, a question about the quality of water in Flint, Michigan. We were in Flint, Michigan as well.
But listen, not just Brazile and Clinton, but the press in general. Tell me that didn't feed into the whole crooked press meme and thoughts that we've had coming out of the Trump campaign.
Well, I have no doubt that Trump has used the press as a pincushion, Dom, and I have no doubt that he has turned the will of his rabid fans upon the press.
But when the press gets questions and passes them to a political candidate, I don't care what their political affiliation is, that's never a good thing, right?
Now compare that,
But
compare that with coordination with a foreign government, in this case, Russia. What do you think's the more troubling of those two? Donna Brazile and a question at Flint about water quality? Couldn't have seen that one coming. Or perhaps the coordination of information with a foreign country in one of the other candidates. A guy who might be under blackmail currently, for all we know, because he sure loves a lot of Putin.
he does.
And there's no other explanation that I see, no logical one, why he so embraces Putin unless Putin's got some dirt on him.
The DOJ versus
what do you think's the
FBI.
worst of those two stories?
Certainly, in my own opinion, setting the whole issue of the fourth estate aside, yes, a presidential candidate coordinating with foreign governments to defeat another presidential candidate is much more troublesome. But Crudy, what's going to happen? This is the man versus the man. Department of Justice versus the FBI. What would make Crudy happy in this investigation?
Well, I would like to see James Comey replaced as the FBI director. I think he needs to resign immediately. And I'd like to see some sort of public flogging in a square somewhere. But do this favor for me, if you'd be so kind. Let's not conflate. Let's not bury the lead. Let's make it loud and clear. James Comey, he was the story. He is the event that turned that election. And here he is, keeping his mouth closed about Trump's dossier. At least he can keep a secret. Oh, only for Republicans, apparently.
Only for his side.
And I'd like to put a challenge. Now I'm all fired up. Where are people in Washington, Arizona, Minnesota, Ohio? Some of these states I'm not as clear on. I think New Mexico. I hear we got 100,000 watt signal in Montana. I want to hear some Montana people. The party line is open, 844-967-2789. I know I'm not wrong on this point. James Comey threw the election to Donald Trump, period.
Drag me far enough to know how blind
Hey, dude, quit bogarting. Tom and Crute are the devil's advocates.
there's a rider that's falling and it's clear there's no time.
In winter, you can practically hear your skin changing. Drying out, flaking, tightening, becoming itchy, irritated, and inflamed. You need the fast relief of Cortisone 10 Intensive Healing Anti-Itch Cream. Unlike regular lotions, Cortisone 10 relieves itch and irritation with 1% hydrocortisone, the strongest non-prescription itch medicine, plus 7 healing moisturizers. With Cortisone 10, winter can just sound fun again. Cortisone 10. Feel the heal. Use as directed.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job. It's really hard. The searching, the sorting through resumes. Most people don't have the right experience.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier. One click and my job was posted to 200 plus job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them. Thumbs up if I liked them, thumbs down if I didn't. No emails and attachments, printing up docs, phone calls, none of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 200 plus job sites. ZipRecruiter, the fastest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Hi, I'm here with Bill Furman, owner of William Thomas Jewelers. Bill, I met you on Christmas Eve. You'd created ruby earrings for my boss's wife. Are there many jewelry emergencies?
There are, Mike. In fact, one year I had a client call me that needed something delivered up to Plover, Wisconsin, and it was on Christmas Day. It was important, and we took care of it for him.
My friend Bill Furman, solving jewelry emergencies for the last 22 years. Give him a call at 232-1600 or find him at williamthomas.com.
Hello, I'm Chad Heller, General Manager at CCL Management. For the last 30 years, when Dane County has needed finer rental housing, it has turned to one company, CCL Management. We represent the nicest homes, condos, and duplexes, most formerly owner-occupied. And if you need a home and don't want to buy, call Dane County's premier leasing and property management company, CCL Management. We can be contacted at 608-833-0009 or visit us on the web at cclmanagement.com.
I was on Zero Res Madison's Facebook page the other day, and they have almost 2,000 testimonials from local customers. Apparently, I'm not the only one stoked on how cool this company is. A green technology that actually works better and doesn't cost more, it's a no-brainer, I'm in. We are starting our own Devil's Advocates revolution to free your carpets from harsh chemicals and soaps. Call Zero Res today and ask for the Dom and Crute special 608-848-9000 or schedule online at ZeroResMadison.com. Zero Res, spell it forward or backward, it's the right way to clean.
This is Lisa from Cadre. We know looking for a job can be a full-time job in and of itself. Oftentimes, a fresh set of eyes can make all the difference in a successful job search. Let us put our eyes to work for you. Time to call Cadre. In the last 22 years, Cadre has helped thousands of people find not just a job, but the right job. Time to make that call. Cadre, 608-203-8511. Cadre, Wisconsin's premier staffing service since 1994.
kicking ass and taking names since the Wisconsin uprising. Dom and Crute are the Devil's Advocates.
And we are back. Thank you so much for listening. Please check us out on Facebook, The Devil's Advocates Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Devil Radio, and the phone lines are open 844-967-2789.
You know, I want to get sort of a little East Coast, West Coast thing. I think I called out a few of the Western states. I forget where I was at. I was mumbling and rambling angrily, passionately. Nevada, California, Oregon. Where are you folks at? Washington State, Montana, or what about the East Coast?
Maybe they might be scared of you, man. You're a little fired up. You're a little fired up.
Well, I'm a little frustrated because I want to hear either from the East or the West. I want to know where the real progressive fans are at. What about Maine? What about Massachusetts? What about Rhode Island? What about Virginia? Hell, what about flyover country, Don?
Maybe all the progressives are just in Madison.
Maybe this is the only liberal town left in America.
Wow, we'll teach them all.
Come on, little islands of progressiveness. I feel confident we'll get the phones ringing once again. We'll just say the number slow. Maybe we've been saying it too quickly.
Yes, too fast.
844-967-2789. I feel quite confident on this point. James Comey stuck it to Hillary Clinton. Dom, I would like to know what bigger event in the electoral campaign there was than that James Comey press conference.
Bigger event, what?
Towards the electoral outcome, towards turning the election unexpectedly towards Donald Trump.
I would say it was Comey, absolutely. Let's take Richard from Tempe, Arizona. Richard, thanks for calling. Welcome to the Devil's Advocates. What do you got for us today?
Well, you called us out, and we do have some liberals here in Arizona.
You answered the call, man. Thank you.
We succeeded in getting rid of Sheriff Joe, so that's one good thing that came out of this election.
You know, Dom invited him on the show before. He's been a guest.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, but the election was definitely stolen. It was Comey definitely had a big role in it. We just got to organize our anti-Trump positions.
Richard, do you think that Comey did it purposefully for the influence to prop up Donald Trump?
No, I don't. I really don't know what his influence or what his purpose was, but there obviously was a strong one, and we got to get to the bottom of it.
Do you think he had intent, Richard? Do you think he meant to do that?
Oh, absolutely. There was no doubt. I think that he meant to do what he did. It was an obvious thing about nothing, you know. So it's like, the running around screaming about Benghazi, screaming about emails, drawing attention away from this idiot, of historic proportions that we have on the ticket. And
got to cut you off, Richard. Thank you so much. Tempe, Arizona's representing. I think he means Orange Jesus. Come back with us. More Devil's Advocates.
Are you putting your money into an IRA, pension, or 401k? Then I hope you're prepared to lose 30, 40, 50% or more of your retirement savings, because it's not a question of if the market crashes again. It's a question of when. It's going to happen. Did you know there is a way you can protect and grow your wealth safely and predictably every single year? The people using this approach didn't lose a penny when the market crashed in 2000 or 2008, and they won't lose a penny in the next crash. In fact, their money will continue to grow safely year in and year out, even when stocks, real estate, and other investments tumble. A free report detailing this savings program is now available. This free report shows how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and wealth-building power without risking your retirement in the Wall Street casino. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement. It far outperforms any IRA or 401k. To get this free report, visit bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
Hi, I'm Todd Stryker, President and CEO of Five Nines. Have you got your head in the clouds on how to manage IT for your enterprise? We can make your dreams a reality. With our enterprise cloud technology, consulting, servers, networks, and hosting, we'll manage your IT so you can focus on running your business. Consider Five Nines your personal enterprise IT solution. Enjoy technology. For more information, visit fivenines.com. That's the number 5, NINES.com.
Hi, I'm Bill Furman. owner of William Thomas Jewelers. For the last 22 years, I have pursued my life's passion, custom jewelry and helping to educate my clients. If people understood what's in my heart, they would know how badly I want their creation to please them or the person they love. Give me a call at 232-1600 or find examples of my life's passion and our unique creations at williamthomas.com.
Do you own a rental property, or would you like to partner with a rental investment team? Call the pros you can trust at CCL Management. Rental expertise second to none, a general contractor on staff to direct repairs and improvements, and real estate brokerage services tailored to the small investor. If you're ready to invest in rental property or just need professionals to manage your real estate portfolio, call us, CCL Management, at 608-833-0009 or visit us on the web at cclmanagement.com.
Brad Zog, owner of Zero Res Madison. You say a healthy home starts with clean carpets. Winter is coming and there's going to be lots of people cooped up inside. What would you tell them?
Now's the best time to get the carpets cleaned. A lot of people don't know that carpet is the largest filter in your house, so it attracts all that dirt and funk and junk, and you need to get that cleaned. You're going to be living with that for the next couple months.
Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward. It's the right way to clean. Call them now. 608-848-9000. ZeroResMadison.com.
Hey, Devil's Advocate Radio fans. Well, the election is over. If your candidate won, you're rejoicing. If your candidate lost, probably not. Thankfully, when it comes to your hiring decisions, you can always pick the winner. For over 20 years, that's 5 election cycles, Cadre's been helping businesses pick winners. Time to make that call. Cadre 608-203-8511. Cadre, Wisconsin's premier staffing service since 1994.
Businesses today thrive and survive with technology. At Five Nines, we provide businesses with the IT tools they need to stay relevant. We offer enterprise-level solutions at competitive prices. I'm Todd Stryker, President and CEO of Five Nines. Let us manage your IT so you can focus on more important things, like running your business. Check us out at fivenines.com. That's the number 5, NINES.com.
Charged, never convicted. Dom and Croat are the Devil's Advocates.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates radio show. We're calling you out. It's time to shout at the devil. The party lines are open 844-967-2789. Our first caller from the for the day, Richard, a Sun Devil from Tempe, Arizona.
It's copacetic, man.
Also throw the horns up around here. And the Desert Southwest representing our next caller from Albuquerque, it's Pam. Pam, welcome to the show. What do you got for us?
I just have to say I think that Comey is an absolute disgrace and he should immediately resign.
Yes.
I mean, it's no wonder why people have lost faith in these governmental agencies.
Mm-hmm.
I was dismayed. I was actually watching it the day that he made the announcement, and I just remember screaming at the TV, freaking Comey. I mean, he literally lost Hillary the election. I can't stand it. This whole thing is absurd.
Pam, when you heard him speaking the first time, what was your impression? Did you think charges were coming?
No, I didn't think they had enough. I just thought it was more crap that they were trying to sling, you know, to create another diversion away from the, you know, the obvious idiot that we ended up putting in office.
Pam, let me ask you, did you support Bernie Sanders or Hillary in the primary? I was a Bernie guy, and I sort of like Bernie took that attitude. I remember in Vegas, that very first debate, I don't care about her damn emails. I mean, I thought either make it an issue of the primary and let it be the deciding factor, let it weed her out as the nominee. But by the time she became the candidate, the general election candidate, then Comey had her right where he wanted her. Pam, did Comey mean to do that? And, you know, were you Hillary all along?
Yeah, I was definitely Hillary all along, although I loved a lot of the stuff that Bernie said. And I think he had it out for her all along. I think it was completely intentional.
Pam, great call. Appreciate your take. Folks, we are the Devil's Advocates. We're going to take a lot of your phone calls. It's time. You've been listening to us for a week or so.
Ish.
Come on, it's time to start calling in. Everybody's a rookie at this. We've got very few friends who have heard us in all these great cities around the nation. So right now, here's the phone number. Start dialing. 844-967-2789. 844-96-PARTY. Dave always likes to party. I know you've called us before. Welcome, Dave. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing? I kind of miss seeing you at the Koi.
Thanks, man.
Welcome to the big time, man. This is impressive.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. What's your take today,
It feels exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about this Comey? Did he mean to do that? And did this turn the outcome of the election to your opinion?
I think it did. The Comey thing, I think Obama should have fired him immediately after that nonsense. It's unconscionable, in my opinion.
Now, after the fact, let's not forget that, who was it, Loretta Lynch over at the DOJ, that tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton. I think that was a
also
horrendous
very bad, yes.
optic. I think it was poorly played by both parties. Should have Obama stepped in and said something or forced the resignation of Loretta Lynch? Because, of course, now it's the DOJ that's got to go investigate the FBI. One wonders where the conflicts may lie.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a huge mess to me. I mean, I don't, I don't begin to know exactly what the machinations were behind the whole thing.
All right, well, let me ask you this question then, Dave. What is your general impression of these governmental organizations, the DOJ, the FBI, after growing up now? We're grown men now, Dave, and we see these people and these organizations in action. Do they give you confidence or do they give you concern?
They give me concern. It seems like way overly politicized for organizations that should not be.
What about the president-elect's assertion yesterday that the CIA reminds him of Nazi Germany?
Oh my.
Is that perhaps a bridge too far?
Yeah, well, Twitler can take that wherever he wants, but I don't know.
Hey, Dave, really appreciate the call. We want to keep the phone lines moving.
Twitler.
Thank you. Next up will be Mike. Be like Mike. Call us at 844-967-2789. I can speak faster, but I'm giving you time to write it down, so you can dial now at 844-96-PARTY. Mike, you will be next. Arizona represent KEBT. Mike, what do you got for us today?
Well, thanks for taking my call. I just stumbled on your program, and hopefully I'm going to be a regular listener.
Right on, man.
Mike, this could be the best day of your life.
Congratulations.
Well, as somebody who does pay attention, and has been paying attention for a long time, this place that we're all in is very unique. I've never felt anything more uncomfortable in my 50 years on this earth. But when I was listening to the Exxon executive in his
Tillerson,
in his Q&A, and when they were asking him specifically about how he felt about being subsidized by the American taxpayers, basically he said something that I thought went kind of unnoticed. They said, well, we're just taking advantage of the U.S. corporate tax system the way it is, and if we're going to have to change that, then we're going to have to change everything. Well, it kind of pokes the 35% corporate tax thing that they've been talking about all these years.
Come on, Mike. All you got to do is go out and start drilling for oil, and you too can take advantage of the depletion code that Exxon takes advantage of.
And I think, and I hadn't heard anything or read anything, in the 24 hours or so since yesterday when I heard that. But I thought, that is something we ought to talk about more because, quite frankly, if all these corporations can continue to manipulate the tax structure so you and I are indeed subsidizing highly financially successful entities or industries like oil and coal, you're right. We do need to gut that system out and put it more in place to where the tax code was in the good old days of the 50s, 60s, if you will, the Norman Rockwell era that everybody longs to, become again.
Well, the 91% marginal tax rate over, $3 million a year, that would actually stimulate the economy tremendously. But, Mike, you know why we're not talking about Rex Tillerson's taxes? And I will give him credit for this. At least he's vetted. At least he divested. I mean, he walked away with a $180 million golden parachute from ExxonMobil, but at least he put it in a blind trust. But you know why we're not talking about his taxes? Because Donald Trump stole all the air out of the room yesterday, telling some reporter from MSNBC, nobody cares about my taxes. I'm not releasing mine. So if the president-elect can't be conflicted, won't release his taxes, I mean, it's just a sideshow over there in the Senate when the Secretary of State nominee says, well, at least you've seen mine.
You're absolutely right. And again, if this isn't an example, whether it's the corrupted media, we are no longer in a healthy democracy. We're in a fascist/oligarch state here in America, and that is not overstating it. I think it's as accurate can be, and I just hope and pray that we, the peeps, finally get, our head on straight and recognize that without us diving in and participating in this process, there's no one person that can come in and save the day. It's only we, the peeps.
Well, Mike, I will make you this assurance. If you keep listening each weekday to the Devil's Advocates radio show, you'll find out we don't have the good sense not to speak truth to power. I can't wait till we're on Trump's enemies list.
We'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you. Outstanding. KEBT, Arizona. Arizona representing.
844-967-2789. That's 844-96-PARTY. We are the political party. And this is a call-in political talk radio show. I talk to Crudy all the time. We want to meet new friends like Hillary from Albuquerque. Welcome to the show, Hillary. What do you got for us today?
Well, hi there.
Hey there.
Hi, Hillary.
Hi there. I just want you to know there are lots of progressives in New Mexico.
Yeah, we hear that. We're meeting a few of them on the radio airwaves.
And New Mexico showed up, man. We did our part,
Yeah.
We voted for Hillary. We've got 2 great Democratic senators. We've got a couple of great Democratic Congress critters. And, we're just trying to help everybody out from here.
Well, Hillary, we used to live in what was a blue state, great state of Wisconsin. I've lived here most of my adult life. I was in the military. I left. I always came back home. And I can tell you this, Hillary, my state has changed right around me. In the last 6 or 7 years, it's been painful. I don't know what happened to the state I love, but the Republicans have taken over and they have slashed and burned. Science, gone. Let's get rid of the Department of Natural Resources. Gone. I mean, school choice, voucher schools, a tax on the voting rights. I mean, Hillary...
Election watchdog groups disbanded.
Yeah, Hillary, it's terrible here, and I suspect what we see here in the state of Wisconsin, when it gets on a national scale, when the Republicans have all the levers of power, Hillary, I'm very afraid that we set the example, and it's a bad example for the nation. You better have a blue state, because if you live in a state like ours, it's scary here right now, Hillary.
Well, the GOP has been in the works for decades, man. This has been in the works since Reagan. I mean, they had a long game. Not only that, but they were smart enough to recognize that if they took over media, they would have a lot more power. And I think that was one of the 4 or 5 horrible things that happened in this last election cycle. The media has become corporately owned. I grew up with Walter Cronkite, and I knew who Ed Murrow was, and I'm that old. And, I think the real journalists are just spinning in their graves, and most of the guys who are out there now don't speak truth to power, and they don't call people on their lies. And Trump look at all the free media he got.
No.
Look at all the negative media that they shot out there constantly about Hillary Clinton, whether it was true or not.
Hillary, what are your thoughts from my experience? And was not trained as a radio guy. Crudy and I do this as a passion. We've been arguing politics for a very, very long time.
But worked as a journalist once upon a time.
But I would not make that claim. But what I see around is concern on the state level that we were here, that people want access to the players. And if you're too mean, perhaps you may not get that access. But on the media front, what are your thoughts about the buzz feeds? You know, these sites that you can go to, you can put anything on. Some might be true, some might not be, but it's certainly not the days of Cronkite and more. What do you think? Is that good or bad for this country?
Oh, it's really bad. But look, the cat's out of the bag. Pandora's opened the box. But one of my big concerns, and I've expressed this with friends, and we've discussed this, is social media has power for good and power for like unbelievable evil. And what happens is also people go down rabbit holes. There are people in my family, I'm not proud of this, but they're in the foxhole, and they're in the drudge hole, and they're in Rush Limbaugh land, and they believe this stuff, and they don't pick their heads out and go anywhere else. They go into their conspiracy theory rat holes, and it's like Alice in Wonderland. You don't see them again, and their thought processes have been changed. And so, and meanwhile, I'm on Politico. I'm listening to you guys. I have a lot of other sources, but this is part of the problem, and stuff gets out there. You're right. I mean, a lie gets around the world before the truth can get out of bed and put its shoes on. I mean, that's and you can't walk stuff back anymore.
Well, Hillary, I'll tell you this. I've been wrong on the air like twice in my life. And I walk it back immediately. If I find out I've been wrong, if I've misreported information, hell, if I misspeak, we try to correct each other in real time. I mean, he's not only my best friend and my college roommate, he's the biggest contrarian I know, Hillary. But I promise you this, if you keep listening, I'm not saying we're the only source, but we only cite sources. We will not make it up. We will not lie to you or have the political agenda of the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Libertarian Party. We are really doing this for our own self-satisfaction, Hillary. Why would we ever lie to you? This is what we really feel.
Yeah, it's like that radio station said, we play things we like,
Absolutely.
But I think, it's hard for people to tell. It's hard for people to discern between lies and truth anymore, and that's part of the problem.
Well, we'll call the liar.
You don't know what to believe. I mean, I hear the BuzzFeed story, and I go, man, I hope that's not true. And then another little part of my brain goes, man, I hope that's true.
We're all a little bit guilty of that. It's like watching a really bad train crash, except we're living it.
Hillary, thank you so much for listening out there in Albuquerque. We got lots of callers. We have room for plenty more. We're going to take callers all hour at 844-967-2789. Time to shout at the devil quickly. I have a statement from James Comey today. I am grateful to the Department of Justice's IG for taking on this review.
Yeah.
He is professional and independent, and the FBI will cooperate fully with him and his office. I hope very much he is able to share his conclusions and observations with the public, because everyone will benefit from thoughtful evaluation and transparency regarding this matter. Yes, I hope there is a public declaration and then an announcement of charges.
And a public flogging.
And a flogging in the square. More Devil's Advocates come back. Phone lines are open, 844-967-2789.
The Devil's Advocates, the fix for political junkies everywhere.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. One click and my job was posted to 200 plus job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 200 plus job sites. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/find. That's ZipRecruiter.com/find.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it?
Why is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-616-5020. That's 800-616-5020. 800-616-5020.
When you need an attorney, trust the voice of experience, the only choice. Lawton and Cates.
Criminal traffic matters, misdemeanors, felonies. Being charged with a crime can harm your personal relationships and cost you your job. Experienced criminal defense lawyers at Lawton & Cates have a long history of providing strong, aggressive representation for individuals facing criminal charges. We will pursue your defense to ensure the best possible outcome. Don't let a mistake cost you more than it should. If your life is disrupted by criminal charges or other legal dispute, Lawton & Cates can help you achieve a successful result. Trust the voice of experience. Call the attorneys at Lawton & Cates, 282-6200, 282-6200.
When you need an attorney, trust the voice of experience, the only choice. Lawton and Cates.
Hi, I'm here with Bill Furman, owner of William Thomas Jewelers. Bill, I met you on Christmas Eve. You'd created ruby earrings for my boss's wife. Are there many jewelry emergencies?
There are, Mike. In fact, one year I had a client call me that needed something delivered up to Plover, Wisconsin, and it was on Christmas Day. It was important, and we took care of it for him.
My friend Bill Furman, solving jewelry emergencies for the last 22 years. Give him a call at 232-1600 or find him at williamthomas.com.
Do you own a rental property, or would you like to partner with a rental investment team? Call the pros you can trust at CCL Management. Rental expertise second to none, a general contractor on staff to direct repairs and improvements, and real estate brokerage services tailored to the small investor. If you're ready to invest in rental property or just need professionals to manage your real estate portfolio, call us, CCL Management, at 608-833-0009 or visit us on the web at cclmanagement.com.
Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.
The big and tall of political talk. Dom and Krut are the Devil's Advocates.
And we're back. Thank you for listening. You can check us out on the YouTube channel, The Devil's Advocates Radio, streaming there live right now. We also communicate via Twitter at Devil Radio and the phone lines 844-967-2789.
I tell you what, we got a call from Virginia. Hold tight for a minute longer, Brett. You'll be next. But right now we're going to Penny from Albuquerque. Penny, welcome to the big show. What do you got for us?
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to say that Trump has tried to intimidate and destroy the free press in the United States for the last 2 years. And when you look around the world and who do dictators jail and murder, it's reporters and the press. So this is very scary what he's trying to do to our country.
Penny, my opinion, I'm sorry to interrupt, is that he's a narcissist. When Dom and I went to Cleveland for the RNC, I mean, I think it's a love-hate relationship with the press because while he banned Politico from his events, He called Politico magazine. They published a special edition, Trump on the cover. I still got it. And Trump called them and asked for 1,000 copies, yet banned them from his press conferences.
That's what he does. He manipulates and he plays, and he loves to see himself in print and on TV and everywhere else. And he's the ugliest thing I've ever looked at as far as a man.
Penny, there is no bigger fan of Trump than Donald Trump.
Hey, Penny.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your call. And Dom, quickly tell the people, and we'll jump to Brett in Charlottesville. He's being patient. Tell him you asked a question at Donald Trump. We're still waiting for the reply, right?
Yes, of course. Donald Trump, what would you do about the national debt? And he proceeded to tell me about, 4 or 5 construction jobs.
I build really big stuff.
that he was being successful in. I would say one more thing to the press issue. Crudy, I've always taken the attitude, those in government, we are citizens of this country, this great country. We have freedom of speech. Specifically, we have freedom of the press. And as far as I'm concerned, I will maintain this attitude to my death. Every one of those folks, they work for us. Let's get to Brett from Charlottesville, VA. Welcome to the Devil's Advocates. Brett, what do you got for us?
Well, can you hear me okay first? I'm
Absolutely.
driving.
Yeah, you're good.
Heck yeah, man. We're ready for you.
All right. Hey, I own a business, a manufacturing business with my brother, and he is hard for Trump. I was hard for Hillary just because I obviously can't stand the man for everything he stands for. And it's been awful. But I can tell you that there's one reason, and really one reason only people are voting for him. It's the income gap. It's people are not doing well, and including small manufacturers like us. And my brother it's a one-issue voter. I'm not doing well. I don't feel a recovery, and that's what's happened. And you talk to these people, and they forgive all of the other BS that he stands for, and for that one reason, he got into office, I think.
Well, and he's not politically correct. I mean, the Trump people, I listened to someone calling into Rush today. They're ecstatic about this random, scary behavior, quite frankly, Brett. They're cheering him on.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it's scary, and I'm feeling like it doesn't end well, either in impeachment or he's in a bunker with his gun to his head or something. I mean, this is really a different time.
Well, Brett, you presume those are not happy endings. Thank you for my call. The phone lines are open. Hour 2 is next, 844-967-2789.
That kills me, makes me
I was on Zero Res Madison's Facebook page the other day, and they have almost 2,000 testimonials from local customers. Apparently, I am not the only one stoked on how cool this company is. A green technology that actually works better and doesn't cost more. It's a no-brainer. I'm in. We are starting our own Devil's Advocates revolution to free your carpets from harsh chemicals and soaps. Call Zero Res today and ask for the Dom and Crude special 608-848-9.